Mario and myself, we got in a very interesting conversation on the 110 Nation Sports Show Wednesday night. Loyalty or championships? What are more important? Listen in.
We're kind of in that gap. More me than you. I think you're. I believe you're younger than me. I can't remember how much younger you are than me. But
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
in that
41.
gap where 41.
Yep.
All right, so we're about the same age. I'm 45. All right, so
Okay.
we're both in that gap that we're kind of in between the loyalty age where you go and play for one team. You're a Michael Jordan. Well, I can't say Michael Jordan because Michael Jordan wouldn't play for the Washington. But you play for one team, or that age where you go play for championships wherever that may take you. We're kind of in between those two areas. So, Mario, are you the type of player that you would go play for one team and that's all you want to play for? Or would you be the type of player that would go play for multiple teams in order to win yourself a championship?
I'm not gonna sit there and lie to you. I don't picture myself being a little hopper. You know what I mean? I wouldn't. If I played against you and you beat me, I would not want to be on your team. You understand what I'm saying? Now we can go ahead and get that out the way. I'm not gonna come join you. I'm not gonna come join the next team that beat me the day after. You know, that's not my speed. So I can sit there and say I could stay on one team for a long period of time, but there would be a time where I would want to see what else is out there. I'm not going to sit there and say that I'll stay there my whole career. I'm not going nowhere, but I would stay as long as possible. But I wouldn't hop. But I could be shipped. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm not a hopper. Sounds like what was that? Dish Network that has that the Hopper.
Oh yeah,
It's a tough question because I know in my job currently, I could go work for competitor companies in the same field and make more than what I make. I know that I could leave that particular field and go work in other fields in the management position because I've pretty much been, well, I'm not going to say pretty much, I've been in management ever since my very first job as soon as I turned 18, and I had to wait until I was 18 to become management because I was not allowed before I was turned 18 due to the company policy. So I've pretty much been in management since I was 18. So you're talking 27 years of pretty much management experience. So not only could I leave the particular company I'm with and stay in the same field to make more money, but I also, and I've been offered to make significantly more working for a different company in a different field, making more money. Now, the thing is, with a couple things, is money ain't everything to me. As great as it would be to make more money, happiness is important to me. And what I mean by this is I could go work for that company and make more money, but will I be happy with that company? With their policies, their rules, their culture, would I be miserable there and wish I was back where I was at? Because even though I don't make quite the same money, and we're going through a little rough patch now with labor and everything else, for the most part, almost 9 years I've been with the company, I've enjoyed myself. I've kind of had the freedom. I run one of the best numbers. I'm the highest volume store, so I'm not micromanaged so much, so I get a little bit more freedom because of the results that I give them. So I get to enjoy my job. I get to enjoy my customers. I get to enjoy having a fun time. Would I get that same enjoyment, that same freedom with another company? But it's not to say that if I'm not happy or the deal is really good or the possibilities of moving up or essentially being a champion, for say, in the sport world, that I couldn't be persuaded to go somewhere else. When it comes to LeBron James, A lot of people get on this whole high horse about LeBron James, especially one of the Miami Heat, and the super team and his championships. Well, first of all, LeBron James didn't do anything that already wasn't done before. Ultimately, he went to go pair up with Dwayne Wade, who was already there, and Chris Bosh. You can say what you want to say, but wasn't like Chris Bosh is on anybody's top whatever list. And as a matter of fact, unless you sit there and think about who was on that team, most people don't even talk about Chris Bosh. But here nor there, I understood why LeBron James left Cleveland. Yes, I didn't like the fact that he waited until the last day of free agency in a press conference to say, hey, I'm taking my talents to South Beach. It would have been nice in a free agents offseason when there was a lot of free agents that we would have known in the beginning, so we could have got some of the free agent players, especially since somehow we traded off our draft picks. We didn't have a good draft pick that year. So it would have been nice to have opportunities to make some changes so that we just didn't completely suck the next year. But, of course, he waited until the last day in his little press conference and all those kids and everything else and blah, blah, blah. I didn't like how he did it. I understood why he did it because Dan Gilbert wasn't doing anything. He brought in, an aged wash-up Shaquille O'Neal, a Jameson Winston, or Jameson, what is it? It wasn't Jameson Winston. Good Lord, I think he played in North Carolina is one where he originally came from, and I'll think about it later. I forget what team he even came off, but I want to say he was from UNC. He played for UNC when he went to college. But we had nobody on our team. Monty Stoudemire was one of those that was one of the players we were hoping he was going to get, and they went in a different direction. But anyway, they didn't go get anybody to really help us make a championship run. So I didn't fault him for leaving. I just faulted him for waiting until the very last day. Now, I kind of took it a little more personal second time because then Dan Gilbert was all in. He did everything you wanted him to do to try to build a team. We got a championship. Then he brought a bunch of washed-up older players that were on their last leg to kind of basically have all your friends play with you, and you were the only one who still played at a high level while everybody else was on the back end of their careers. And it didn't fare out so well, and then everybody went their own way, and we were left with nothing and had to rebuild again. Now, they've done a phenomenal job of rebuilding this Cleveland team, and I'm hoping this next year or two we actually have a deep run because we made the playoffs. We've done good. Donovan Mitchell's a great addition to the team. So I don't fault him for that. So to get to my answer to the question, it's a difficult question because I see myself and how I am loyal to the company I work for, but I also see that the right situation, if I'm not treated the way I need to be treated, I can see why I would want to move on. So I see where Damian Lillard is coming from to an extent. Now, obviously, we don't know the situation. That's kind of why earlier. It's not why earlier, but this is kind of plays into why I asked earlier. Do you think it's management, or do you think nobody wants to play in Portland? Because to me, that would be a key factor. And I didn't know I was going to be going here when I asked that question earlier, but it played out perfectly one after another. Because to me, that would be a big factor. Am I saying on a team that you guys are not getting players to come play with us? Are you not building a championship team, or is it because nobody wants to come and play in Portland? Now, if I'm in Damian Lillard's position and I am taken care of real well, and his contracts have been phenomenal, it's not like they've lowballed him, and the culture is good, and he is happy, then sure, why not? Why not finish your career there? Because you could go to a championship team, or what you think is going to be a championship team, and you be miserable. You not be happy. The culture's not good there. You don't mesh with your teammates, whatever the case may be. You left a situation that you were happy. You've been happy for many years. You've been taken care of for many years. Just because you didn't win a championship, I mean, let's be honest. I know at the end of the day, Every player wants to win a championship, and every player is judged their career by whether or not they win a championship. But I'm gonna let you in a little secret, Mario. If I get to go to bed every night in my big house with my soft bed and my comfortable pillows and comforters and sheets, and I parked my very luxury cars in my nice garage, and I turn my alarm on, and I have an amazing, beautiful wife laying next to me. My kids are well taken care of and getting to do whatever they want to do, college, jobs, everything else. I never have to worry about missing a payment on anything. I live a very comfortable retirement or life period the rest of my life. Do you honestly think I'm going to lose any sleep on whether or not they talk about me on ESPN, FS1, FS2, ESPN2, ESPN 360, NBC Sports? I don't care what sports network you put out there, that I didn't win a championship in my whole career. Do you think it's honestly going to bother me? Because I'm going to tell you right now, it ain't. If my bank account is stacked and I was happy my whole career and I put it all out on the court, and nobody can ever say Damian Lillard has not put it out there on the court, and I'm living my best life the rest of my life, and the only thing I'm missing is a championship, do you honestly think I'm losing any sleep over this?
Mm-hmm. 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 Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel